You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hello and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor, your mental health podcast in bite-sized chunks. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would talk about one of my favorite lines that my clients will hear me say very often and will often tease me about, but is really at the core of the work that I do and how I like to approach therapy. And that's, I'm curious about. Let's jump right in. So this term, I'm curious about, started to evolve and come into my therapeutic process almost in a natural way from when I was a brand new therapist up until now, 10 years into the therapeutic process. And it wasn't until about probably 4 or 5 years ago that someone pointed out how often I actually use this phrase when I'm asking questions in a therapeutic way. So whether it's in supervision or it's with clients, this is something that comes up really naturally for me, in that I get really curious about what's happening. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why is it manifesting in this way? Have we thought about something in a different way? And this curiosity is really what drives the therapeutic process for me. So clients tend to also find it endearing, and it's something that I share with them right off the bat, that this is an approach that I use, but that I think it's really important when we're looking at our behaviors and when we're understanding what's going on for us, that we get curious about it. I can come at it from a judgmental point of view. I can start to say, well, I hate that I do this, or I'm mad that this happens, or this person always does this. And I can come at it from a judgmental perspective. Or I can start to shift that process and really start to get curious about, why is this happening? What could be going on? Is there something else that's happening here? Am I missing a piece? And this really changes the way that I'm approaching myself and I'm approaching others. And what I really realized when people started to point this out to me in the therapeutic sense is that this is actually a core belief of mine. It's a core value that I have, is to lead with curiosity, to live life curiously. And so I've started to embrace this idea of being curious. And if you follow my other social medias, you'll see that I say stay curious as my sign off. And I think that this is really fundamental to me as a therapist. And so I wanted to share this perspective of getting curious and staying curious and really leading with, what else could I learn about this? What else could I understand about this? And does that change the way that I'm showing up? So though it's not maybe the most profound therapeutic tool, or maybe it doesn't necessarily apply to where you're at and what's happening for you in your day-to-day life, I thought that this tool is really core to who I am and how I'm showing up in the therapeutic process, that I wanted to share it with you and bring it with you. And I hope that you can take that and use it in your day-to-day life and find ways to get more curious about what's going on for you, both in terms of life and in terms of your mental health. So until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts, on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.